Hi everyone. Today I want to have a look at change and change management, and this is part of sport, employment, part of almost any work situation, and also part of most situations we face in our social lives. To implement change in sport organisation, we really need to be clear about the vision that we have for this organisation. We need to be clear about the strategy by which we'll enable the changes to take place that you have this vision for, and we need to be clear about the structures that we have, the resources we'll provide, the time frame, and how we'll work through this process with the people who matter most, the people who are our colleagues or our staff. So some general notes first about before we implement the change. We need to have realistic expectations about the benefits of the change, about the costs of the change, about what these will do for our team or our staff organisation or for our productivity, for our profit. We need clear goals that are acceptable to the people involved. We need to know that staff understand what is expected of them, that staff appreciate what the new benefits will be from the result of these changes. We need clear communication channels. Staff need to know if this is the vision and these are the goals from the vision, and then this is the change that we're going to implement, who is responsible for what is their time frame, what are their responsibilities. We need to prepare for that inevitable part of change, possible clashes between people on our staff, between different views, sometimes between people who may well feel threatened, and justifiably so sometimes the way we don't handle change well, and those who feel secure about the change that is coming. Change needs to be aligned to our strategic direction and goals, then it's more likely to be accepted. So we make sure that staff understand the reasons for change, and having set out the vision, which is consistent in our establishment, having set out our goals, then we need to be sure that we in effect sell it to staff, not as some form of internal spin, but because we believe in the change. We want our staff to understand, to be with us, to have a mutual commitment, an individual commitment, that this is. And so we need to find ways of, if you like, showing the particular vision that we have by using, whether it's symbols, stories, rituals that we have, and blending these in to the desired state that's going to be achieved. We need to have a clear understanding of the benefits of change and the risks that are inherent in it. Staff may well feel threatened. We need to consider this. And in looking at material that was available, and checking through quite a vast library behind me on leadership, I was struck with the University of Adelaide piece on leading change, transition and transformation. And that's well worth finding on the web, because it puts a lot of change and considerations into a really. So let's say that we're implementing change. Now we need to meet with the staff, we need clear teams, perhaps sub-units, even meet with individuals. We need to provide personal support. We might want others who have innovated successfully in the way that we're intending to come in and talk with our staff. We'll have a timeline that we monitor with check-offs for targets, responsibilities for these. And we will legitimise personal concerns that staff have. Imagine, for example, someone older than most of our staff who feels threatened by changes because they may not understand them, because they may feel that job tenure is at stake, they may feel that it's a threat to some understandings, e.g. of technology, which they presently don't have. And all of these are legitimate concerns, but each of them we can address in a one-to-one situation, training, opportunities for understanding more of the relevant technology in this particular case. And we need to recognise that there are rewards and recognition for achievement. I'm not talking here about massive bonuses, usually, but the rewards might simply be people feeling more confident, people being able to go on a training course, people being able to see that because we've introduced A, B is now simpler to do. Because we've introduced B, that means that C is now something that we can handle easily, and that D, as a result, is part of the baseline of higher profits, easier working conditions or whatever. We need to make sure that the stakeholders buy in. We need the skills of recognising indirect resistance, ways that people, if you like, can provide a way of slowing down the system, of negating change through inertia, through questioning, through avoidance. And we need to recognise again that these are human conditions and we can do something about them. Essentially, we may view change as a shift in organisational culture. Now, we've had a lecture on organisational culture, so check your notes on that. Organisational culture, who are we? What's the way of doing things around here? Will readily lend itself to considerations of change. And then, following change, we evaluate what we've done at a set time that we've predetermined, and we evaluate in terms of our vision, our goals, our structures, and we look at where we've got. Have we reached where we intended to reach? If not, why not? And if so, what was it that made this come about? And then perhaps 6 months down the line, we sit down and we look at whether those changes have really been bedded in. Now that's a vast overview of change. So what I'm really saying is change is inevitable. It may provoke some conflict. It's often a power relationship that's being at stake in the sense of different stakeholders losing some power, gaining some power. So stakeholders have a special interest. Our staff are the stakeholders. So let's consider in change
the way that we deal with our organisational culture and the way that we promote ourselves externally to the organisation.